Welcome to the weekly shir of Zera Shimshon. It's Erev Shabbos, Chav Zayin Elul, Tov Shin Pei Aleph. Only a few more days left in the year. And I want to wish everybody a Chesiva B'Chesima Taiva, a good Geben Shtiar. We should only hear Simchas and Refuas and Yeshuas in this coming year. So there's a very short piece. In life and good, in death and evil. See, I have placed before you today life and good and death and evil. So, and then it says, the famous pasuk, B'charta b'chaim, choose life. When there is both plague and famine in a city, what should people be davening for? Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani says that they should pray for the end of the famine. And if their prayers are accepted by heaven, they will have achieved life as well. Since the Rebbeinu Shalom grants parnasa to those who are alive and not to people who have already passed away. It's Gemara Tainus 8b. If so, the Torah should have said, I have placed before you the good and left out life. Because if Hashem is giving good to someone, it is clearly to someone who is still among the living. We must remember, points out the Zera Shimshon, that sinners are considered as dead, even when they're alive. In addition, the prayers of evildoers are not heard, as it says in Yeshayahu 1:12, when you come to appear before me, who requested this of you, to trample on my carts? From this, we understand that as a person who has not yet repented cannot pray at all, not for life or not for goodness. This is what the pasuk means to say. As soon as a person begins doing tshuva, he can start to daven for life, since being involved in the tshuva process means that he is already considered alive again and can now daven that he should be given goodness from above. Very comforting in these days in front of us. That's why the verse first uses the word life, which implies doing tshuva, which will enable a person to begin living anew. And the segula is, the following letter is written to the Institute for Study of Zera Shimshon, to Rabbi Zilberberg and Rabbi Pashkes. My name is Amos Porat, and I live in Ra'anana. Through much of last year, I suffered terribly from fatigue. I wasn't lazy and went to the doctor for tests, but they weren't able to uncover any specific reason for my constant tiredness. I didn't give up and continued different doctors, but none of their ideas or suggestions helped me at all. I took different medicines, vitamins, changed my diet, began a serious exercise regimen, but nothing worked. It reached the point to where I could be forced to stop working in the middle of the day because I would become so tired that I just couldn't carry on doing my job. Even on the rare days that I was able to get through my normal hours, I would collapse the second I walked to the door of my house from sheer exhaustion. As you can imagine, much of my time was spent trying to figure out a way to get myself out of the never-ending cycle of fatigue that was ruining my life. One day I heard from the about the Sefer Zera Shimshon and how learning it was considered as a major segula for all sorts of things. Since I am the gabbai in one of the local shuls in Renana, I decided to establish a shir in Zera Shimshon at my shul. I made an announcement in my shul that we are about to begin a brand new shir in Zera Shimshon on Shabbos Parshat Nitzavim, this Parshat. A shir that I would deliver to the tzibur. We were all set to begin, and many of my family members had agreed to join, when to my tremendous chagrin I found myself unable to get out of bed at any time during that Shabbos. The crowd that gathered for the shir eventually realized that I would not be putting an appearance and ended up learning the Zera Shimshon on their own because there was no one to give this scheduled shir. So you can imagine how I felt. Here I had been trying my best to give this a shot and going as far as starting my own shir, yet I had been unable to get myself through the front door. it was disheartening to say the least. It was Elul when I decided to start the Zera Shimshon shir, and Rosh Hashanah was approaching. I told the people who had committed to the shir that I would be delivering a double shir, one part on the Parshat and the second part on Rosh Hashanah. Here comes the fantastic part. I finally managed to deliver shir, and to my great surprise and relief, my fatigue problems vanished. It was absolutely incredible. I had been suffering for so long, tried so many different remedies and ideas, and the moment I began teaching the Zera Shimshon, everything changed for the better. I decided that I had better let you know what happened to me so that you can spread the word and write my story in your weekly newsletter. This story should be reinforced what your readers already know. Zera Shimshon isn't a regular sefer. Thank you for everything. Amos Porat Ranana. May you have a wonderful Shabbos and a good Gebench year. Mitzvah Hashem, next year we'll be learning Zera Shimshon again. Kol Tov.